Hey guys, I'm just going to go over what I went over this morning for the committee. So I just kind of read out what the requirements were, and I'm pretty sure you already read them. So the only thing I added to it was that proposals can't be proposed on Sundays at noon when we have when the executive board has their board meetings, and or if that day doesn't work for you, just reach out to one of us and we could plan a time where we could hear out the proposal that you have. So as long as it's before that Sunday meeting at noon, we could hear out the proposal. It just all depends when your event is going to be at, or like what day or whatever. So moving on, the questions that I got this morning were what kind of proposal outline do y'all have to do? So I added a proposal template. So you just go here and it'll kind of show you what we want in the proposal. So just like the event description, kind of like a little brief description of what the event you're proposing is, sign up details, set up for the event, and what to expect like on the day of event, like who is going to be in charge. Because if there's two of you working on the same event, who's going to be running it? Is both of you going to be running it? Who else do you need to help you out to run the event? And you know how it would run, and yeah, stuff like that. So you just go over this. If you have any questions, please let me know. But for the proposal, there's a couple other things you have to consider when making an event. So the three most important things are ground use forms that you have to submit to the ground use committee. And that's if your event's gonna be on campus and outside somewhere. So like Urbanosity or free speech area or anywhere that's not indoors. So if we're doing an event on campus, like if we do something at Urbanosity and it's gonna be a group of us, we have to submit a ground use form telling them what we are gonna have. Are we gonna have food? Is gonna be prepackaged? What kind of events are we gonna do? And like basically what our event is, like another proposal to them, and they have to accept it. And if they don't like accept it, like what we have planned, they kind of tell us what to change, and we just have to change that and make sure to consider whatever they're telling us to do. So you have to submit that 2 weeks prior to your event, because they have to review, and then they have to set up a send you a day to come to the committee meeting and stuff like that, and like to make sure we have enough time to consider what they tell us. So that's the link. Just go to it. You'll see the form, the ground use form, and other stuff when considering making an event on campus. So obviously we have a lot of restrictions because of COVID. So this PDF document tells you what we can and can't do when we're doing in-person events on campus. And so if just look at that, see what we are able to do for your event that you are planning. And then we are allowed to reserve rooms on campus except at the sub. So we are allowed to reserve rooms in academic buildings. So this link, whoops, I've got to put the link in there, but the link that I'll put in there, you just go to it and just follow these steps on how to reserve a room. And the maximum amount of people usually for the big rooms is 35, 36, 37, depending on which one's available. So if you're considering doing an event on campus in an academic room, just take into consideration that there's like a 35 average max of the amount of people who are able to be in that room. So yeah, this is just like kind of steps you have to fill out. This stuff you have to put in the kind of like the submission form. So I just gave you all the information so you're not like struggling. And the highlighted part is kind of like the important thing when you're trying to reserve the room. So you just have to go to add meeting, which just click on the date and time you want the event to be. And once you're done with that, you just go to request rooms. And if you want to look at how the room is kind of set up and how it looks and how big it is, just kind of hover over. It's gonna be like a little circle, just hover over the circle, and a picture of the room is gonna pop out, as well as on the top is gonna show like capacity, location, and room number and stuff like that. So you just see which the capacity of each room, and it'll show you which rooms are available and which ones aren't for that date. And then it will kind of send you a submission kind of receipt that you submitted the event, whatever, and then 2 days later, somebody's gonna email you back with a resume room reservation acceptance, or if they don't accept it because of like the capacity or whatever, they'll email you and tell you to like you have to do it again. Okay, so if you kind of looked over these things, these are kind of ideas that or like kind of things to take into consideration about what kind of events to do for HSS. If one of the questions was which events or what kind of things that we should implement more or we haven't really implemented, and that would be academic events, because we usually do study nights, but we haven't really done that. So academic and fundraising will be the two that we probably need more proposals in, or more input on what we should do with those. But yeah, there's kind of like a little bit of ideas, and for general, just kind of like more, if there's something outside of this that you want to implement within HSS, you're more than welcome to propose something like that as well. And then the deadlines are kind of just kind of a thing, like a dates where we want to make sure y'all have y'all's requirements done by, just so you're not slacking off and wait to do everything at the end of the like semester. So there's kind of like something for y'all to kind of have like in the back of your mind, oh, like I have to make sure I have these 3 events done by the end of the month, because if I don't, then I have still 6 more events I have to do within like a couple weeks, and that's just gonna be a lot for y'all. So just kind of like something for y'all to have. And yeah, proposals can be proposed up until November 8th. Just so if you want to propose an event for the semester, November 8th would be a good time to have it proposed by, so we have time to plan it and make sure it's like planned good and whatever. But if there's something that you really, really want to do and something that you probably wouldn't be able to do until next semester, you could also propose something for next semester. And you could propose that up until the end of the semester. Like if it's going to be for the spring semester, there wouldn't really be a date on it. Just by the end of the semester, it should be fine. And if you scroll down, this is kind of the calendar we have for dates that are kind of fixed. The only one that isn't fixed is the community garden, just because we had that on October 17th, but we already had a lot of stuff going on that day. So now I'm just going to switch it to either the 18th or the 24th. So that one's still kind of not fixed yet. And so yeah, this is kind of what we have for October. We don't have much for November as of now. But if you're watching this video and you already went to the meeting, we did add ESL mentoring at Cavazos Middle School. So that's gonna be twice a month. And we put it for Mondays and Wednesdays for people to go volunteer and do that and mentor. But for setup dates, the only events that we have right now that we would probably need help setting up for would be Powder Puff, the Field Day, and the Cavazos Middle School Dia de los Muertos volunteer. And we did that last year and it's really fun. So those are the 3 right now that we would need help setting up for. So just have that in the back of your mind for your requirement as well. And that's about it. So if you have any questions,